Hi everyone, just Kristen here from the Dahlia Society. I'm braving the icy winds out here. It's actually 9 degrees outside at the moment and I'm pretty chilly. I wanted to show you a brand new make that I've just made the last day or so from some of that faux cashmere that's in my online store. It's nearly sold out. This is actually a Pattern Emporium pattern with a bit of a Tilly in the Buttons hack. Now I know that I did tell a lot of you that there is a brand new little add-on hack that if you go over to Tilly's website you can download this little shoulder frill, and I love this pattern. I've made quite a few basic tees and long sleeve tops, so I thought, knowing that I know my size, I'm pretty comfortable with it, I thought I'd do the add-on frill. And it was actually very simple to do. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can do the kind of lettuce leaf, she calls it, like with an overlocking or surging stitch to get that ruffle, or you can have it in a double layer and just press it wrong sides together and add that watch where your notches are. So you use your middle notch on your shoulder seam and just use the gathering stitch to pull that frill around. And I think it looks really sweet. I actually really love a bit of shoulder detail. I'm not an overly frilly kind of fussy person, but I do like a bit of a statement sleeve, and I really like this as a different kind of statement sleeve. I'm really happy how it's come up in this lightweight knit. This is a really lightweight knit, and I love this for wearing underneath jackets and cardigans. Stand up and give you a bit more of a look. If you can see here, it's just a lovely cornflower, really pretty. It reminds me of the color of the hydrangea in summertime. But I'm actually trying to embrace a little bit more of wearing blue. I don't wear a lot of it, and I feel like it really suits the new hair color, and yeah, just feeling really great. And it actually goes with quite a lot of colors in the winter wardrobe as well. I must remember to tell you guys, coming up in the episode, I have to let you all know about the new Bespoke Box. I've also got a brand new book to show you that I've just purchased, and I'm really excited about starting to read. If I can just make myself sit and read, I find it very hard to sit still. I'm one of those people that's always got to be busy doing things. So I really have to find time to make myself sit and read. And once I start, that's it. I'm all over the book. I can usually have it finished within a day or so, but it's making myself sit and do it. So if you're like that, I'm sure a lot of us are always, keeping busy and doing things, but it is so nice to just read, not on a screen. I think we're always reading on screens. You find that your eyes get strained. So the reading on paper is it's so lovely. So I'll get back to that in a minute. The other new make that I've made with the other color is this beautiful kind of mustard color. It's another Tilly in the Buttons pattern. It's the pearl cardigan. It's a wraparound style cardigan. You do get two different sleeve options. You get that beautiful billowy bishop sleeve, which is what I've made in this color, and also just a straight sleeve. And it was actually a really, really simple make, but I always do this. I don't know if you're like me and if you have anything with either a wrap dress or a wraparound style, I always manage to get the ties mixed up. So the one side that the longer tie was meant to be on was on the opposite side. Always really careful reading the instructions because I know that trips me up every time, but no matter what, it always happens to end up on the wrong side. So I had to do a little bit of unpicking there, but managed to fix it up. And I'm really happy with how it's come up. And I'm finding that I've just done a huge wardrobe clean out actually. I really needed to do that. I ended up taking about 4 or 5 giant bags to my local op shop, which they are always loving getting some things. It's getting to the stage where you just can't find anything in there. There's no kind of organisation. One of the daughters has just done her whole her drawers in her room with that Marie Kondo style folding or rolling style with the knit. So I'm going to try that. But I do need to put and invest a bit more time into organising my wardrobe just so I can find things. I find it really, really hard otherwise to, to sort of go rummaging around, find what you want. But wouldn't it be nice to have a bigger wardrobe? I would always would love to have a walk through wardrobe, and a lot of people don't have that option. But yeah, until one of the kids moves out, which may be happening in the next year or so, Twins are actually wanting to move out eventually. So I've got my eyes on the prize. At the moment, our 16-year-old son is actually living in the rumpus room, which he's made into his own room. Lucky for him, because it's a huge room, and he's a musician, so he can manage to fit all his instruments in there. And his big double bed. But when the twins move out, he has his eye on their room, and I have my eye on his room, because I've always got these plans and dreams in my mind that I want to be able to tease that room up, maybe put some new flooring down, some new blinds, and have it as a special sewing space, sewing studio. Yeah, so let's see. It could be a year or two away. The girls have got a lot of saving to do, of course, just coming out of 4-year degrees, both of them. They've got to do a bit of saving up so they can move out, but it'll happen. And I think when it does, it's going to be a really strange experience having a bit quieter home, but it'll never be fully quiet. I always say it's a bit of a crazy house. But getting back to the pearl cardigan, love this style. Yeah, just make sure you keep an eye on where the ties are meant to be and don't make the mistake like I did. And love the weight of this knit as well. Plenty more of this mustard colour online. There's a little bit of this and a little bit of black, but all the pinks sold out. And I must say, a huge thank you. A lot of you went on to purchase a lot of the knitwear. Mum was so thrilled reading through the comments. I know a lot of you loved seeing Mum there, and it was just a spur of the moment thing. She walked in the door and I said, come on, sit down with me. We're going to record a vlog together. And she's like, oh, I'm not dressed for this. Not, it doesn't matter. None of you guys are going to mind. Actually made an unwind sweater with that beautiful cuddle fleece. The pink and a caramel sold, but I am getting more in the next week or so. So keep an eye on the newsletters if you do subscribe to the newsletter, because that way you can find out when new knitwear does arrive in the store. I've also got some really exciting things. I'm looking at some beautiful wool coating, which is just stunning. Look, I find it very hard to not look at coating. I love coats. It's one thing I could have a million of in the wardrobe. And also some Ponte knits that are just the most gorgeous colours. And look, knitwear is so versatile. So I have also got some more wovens coming as well. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter, and I'll link the website below if you haven't been over and had a look at that before. Now, I must say a huge thank you to my daughter Eliza, who's done so much work on that website for me. She's actually the brains behind setting it up, and I just give her a bit of creative inspiration, and we've been working on that and trying to keep it looking very seasonal and changing with the seasons to look great with the new fabrics that come in as well. So it's a work in process. It's always changing as well, but I think I'm really happy so far with how it's looking. But a huge thanks for all your support that people have purchased a lot of the fabrics on the website. If there's anything you'd like me to get in for the store, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and do my best. We have had a lot of buttons sold this week, which is also fantastic, but I would love to hear what it is you would like to see in store. Yeah, the knits have been doing wonderfully. So I'm going to put some pics up of the pearl cardigan, wraparound cardigan, and this little Tilling the Buttons hack with the Pattern Emporium. See what you think about these knits. Now let's talk about the next Bespoke Box theme. I know a lot of you have been asking, what is it? It's a very exciting theme this month. I've put so much thought and effort into this particular box. I came up with the name Avonlea, and if a lot of you are avid readers and you've read the L.M. Montgomery novel Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I've got inspiration from the name Avonlea with the fabric it all ties in. I'll put a bit of imagery up so you can see. There's a beautiful couple of beautiful pieces of art here people have made from Anne of Green Gables series. And I'm trying to make sure that the pattern kind of links in with it as well. It's very, very on trend at the moment. A lot of this kind of Victorian looking style. So the pattern will tie into that as well. And the box itself is just a stunning one. And also the gourmet treat of the month will be from a maker from the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. A yummy treat. I've personally sampled some of these, so I've got to say you guys are going to absolutely love it. And also, the scented gift is from a local artisan maker in Tarra Valley, which is not far away from where I live, about an hour away. So the scented gift is a stunner as well. So I think you're going to really love the Avonlea box. And yeah, I'm not going to give too much more away other than it's exactly what you're probably thinking, conjuring up those thoughts colours. I'll put a little bit of inspo, but I can't give away too much because that is the whole beauty of the Bespoke Box, is that mystery when you're unveiling it and opening it and having that wonderful surprise. So I am so excited. Mum and I are huge fans of Anne of Green Gables, and the 1980s, 90s, I think it was late 80s, there was a mini series out with Anne of Green Gables. The books were made into a beautiful mini series. I loved that, but I've also got to say I've loved watching Anne with an E, which is a Netflix series, which is a really in-depth series based on the novels as well, and very different to that 1980s kind of mini series. So just such a beautiful story and a real heroic leading lady there with Anne. If you haven't read the novels, definitely highly recommend for any age, probably more like, you know, teenage up to any age really, up to 100. I think it's just a wonderful, really heartwarming story, and it's great to have kind of an ongoing series you can read there. So yeah, I think you're going to all love the Bespoke Box. So don't forget, set your alarms for the 12th of June, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We have got about 50 boxes this month. We are trying to centre it around that kind of amount at the moment, just the next couple of months to see the interest that we have. That way it keeps it a bit more exclusive for you guys. I just think it can put a little bit more love and care into finding these little artisan makers as well, if we keep the boxes on that side of quantity-wise. So yeah, so if you've missed out, yeah, try and remember to set the alarms, and I will do my best to make sure that there's enough there for everyone. Getting on to some more literature, I have just received in the mail this book, Esme Young from the Great British Sewing Bee. This is her life story, her autobiography. It was bought from Booktopia here in Australia. I think they're pretty much widely available through Amazon Books as well. So yeah, head on over to purchase that. And I do love a good read, especially reading about people's lives and what's got them into sewing. Now, one of my daughters actually has just ordered a Anna Sui book. She collects like fashion inspiration books, and I want to get her book collection, and I want her to show you guys. So I'm actually thinking about getting, probably getting all my daughters eventually on, but maybe one by one, and she might want to show you her cross-stitch collection. She's a really, really talented embroiderer as well, but she has got a wonderful collection of designer books. Some of the books are just lovely to have a flick through when you have some time and you see where they got their inspiration for sewing. Another thing I wanted to have a bit of a chat to you guys about is the fact that I will be turning 50 on the 6th of July. A bit scary, but actually no, I'm embracing it wholeheartedly. I'm going to own it. I'm 50 and I'm quite happy to say that. There's no hiding. I'm actually just having a very small get together with family, just family and friends, maybe about 40 people, just at a local hotel. We're going to be having a nice lunch. I want to make something to wear out of one of those beautiful fabric godmother prints that I ordered in. The hard bit for me is to decide which one, because I love them all equally. They're all beautiful. I'm going to show you some imagery so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. These prints are all viscose and viscose twill, and some of them are cotton lawn. I'm thinking of some kind of a dress, either a button-up neck or even maybe a V-neck. But I've got a few patterns listed here. I'm going to take you through it, and I want you guys to help me choose the right pattern. The first one I'm looking at is the Jolene shirt dress expansion pack, which is the ready to sew pattern. The reason I love this is because it hasn't got too much bulk and gathering around the waist. It's got a nice slimline fitted bodice, and the skirt is not too much fabric. I don't want a lot of fabric with a print. I want it to be more streamlined. So that's one dress I've been looking at, and I think from memory Alex Judge may have made one for herself. I think she might have made it in corduroy, and it looked beautiful on her. So that's one I have in mind. The other is the Tilly in the Buttons Lyra dress, which is very famous. Everyone knows that dress. It's a button-up shirt style dress. This has tiers. Now, I don't necessarily want tiers. If I do, it would be a long line or maybe midi length with maybe one tier around the bottom. Next one I'm looking at is it's called the Patterns Room Ira dress. Now, this is a more streamlined version of, say, what the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra would be. Very similar, but a bit of a different sleeve and more fitted throughout the waist. There's the By Hand London Sarah shirt dress. I think most of you will know that dress by now. That's a lovely swishy, more no fitting around the waist. I'll probably put a belt around the waist for that one. You've got things like your Cashmerette Roseclair, which is a very versatile wrap dress as well. I could do that without the tiers. or the Upton dress. That's a really lovely dress as well. The new dress from the Cashmerette Club, which is the Kyneton dress, just a very simple V-neck dress with a beautiful statement style sleeve. So very simple with the elasticized waist. That could look beautiful as well. The other ones that I have listed here is a couple from Style Like Patterns. The new Trini dress. Now, I know a lot of people have said they've loved the look of that. That could be very easily altered to have a long sleeve, more simple high neck dress. So quite a few options. I'd love to hear your thoughts and see what you'd like to see me make. And also let me know which fabric you think you would love to see me in, because as I say, they're all beautiful and I love them all equally as much. It's just a matter of choosing one. So yeah, it's very, very hard. The other things that I have planned to make, I have a few things planned. I am doing a pattern test at the moment for the Rudder Davies for a very, very exciting new pattern coming out towards the end of June. And I've also told Jane from the Dressmaker's Closet I would love to make her Ava tie, pussy bow tie front blouse as well. And as well as that, the poppy blouse from Pattern Scout, I'm going to be making one of those too. So much there to think about. And I'm also in the process of cutting out some of that beautiful Angora. In the online shop, you'll see a beautiful colour called Golden Ash, very similar to the colour in the background of those leaves. And I want to make a nice long line cardigan as well. So I could actually make another reconnect cardigan because I just love that style. Or maybe look into more of a drapey front. I've got a few things to think about there, but I think cardigans are just such a lovely friend to have in the wardrobe and to put in the back of the car because it's so cold here in Melbourne at the moment. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling the freeze. Just a bit of news and gossip what's happening this week. I hope you've all enjoyed what I've had to show you. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter to not miss out on the new fabrics that will be arriving very shortly. As well as that, don't forget if you're wanting to purchase a bespoke box for the month of June, the Avonlea theme, 12th of June, that will be on sale at 7 p.m. So fastest fingers first. And I better get sewing and I better get making some decisions on these patterns because I've only really got a month left now because time is running out. So I would love to wear a new dress to my birthday. I definitely don't want to be out buying a dress. I think I've got some beautiful fabrics to use and I would love to use that as some inspiration for you guys watching as well. Thanks for watching today. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you could do that and also hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed today's episode. Take care, everyone. I hope you're keeping warm or keeping cool. Happy sewing and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.